Celestial Love, The Seven Bonds, Episode 1. Character Introduction. Namjoon, Nature God. I lost him once. I won't lose him again. Kim Namjoon, God of Nature. Top, has a husband you will know between the story. Friends, Hoseok and Yoongi, Jungkook. Brother, Taehyung, has curse, because of the curse he turned into a blue flower. Jin, now human, why does he feel so familiar? Kim Seokjin, human, bottom, has past life story you will know between the story. Crush on someone you will know between the story. Lost his legs in an accident. Friends, Taehyung, Jungkook. Single child, parents, mother, father. Childhood friend, Leela, Yoongi, dark god, I only have room for one moon. Min Yoongi, god of dark, top, love, Jimin. Childhood friends, Hoseok, Namjoon, Taehyung. Now he hates Hoseok you will know between the story. Because of misunderstanding he and Jimin separate now. Jimin, moon god, did you love me, or was it all a lie? Park Jimin, moon god, bottom, love, Yoongi. Friends, Taehyung, Jungkook. Respect Hoseok, he misunderstood Soap and gets angry with Yoongi. Taehyung doesn't know Jimin was a moon god. Now living with Taehyung and Jungkook you will know between the story. Hoseok, sun god, even gods burn when they love alone. Jung Hoseok, god of sun, bottom, has one side love you will know soon. Childhood friends, Taehyung, Namjoon, Yoongi. He knows Jimin is Yoongi's love. Taehyung, ice god, who am I, and why does my heart ache? Kim Taehyung, god of ice, top, because of some curse he lost his memories fully. Friend, Jimin, Jin. Crush, Jungkook. Now he lives in human world with Jungkook you will know why. Jungkook, bunny boy, I'll wait forever if I have to. Jaeon Jungkook, bunny human, bottom, no one knows his real personality, even Taehyung also. Friend, Jimin, Jin. Love, Taehyung, he know Taehyung's past life story but never tell to him. Lives in human world, Jimin living with him. Jin's bedroom, evening settled over the mansion like a quiet sigh. The sky outside burned in shades of gold and soft amber, the sun slowly sinking behind the distant trees of the private estate. Closing parenthesis. Through the enormous floor-to-ceiling window, warm light spilled into the room, painting the marble floors and expensive furnishings in a fading glow. The lights inside the room remained off. In a house where crystal chandeliers and imported decor spoke of unimaginable wealth, darkness felt strangely comforting. Near the king-sized bed, beside an elegant mahogany study table, sat a young man in a wheelchair, who was none other than Jin. He was positioned carefully, as though this had become his daily routine. A leather-bound diary rested on his lap, and his slender fingers moved slowly, deliberately, as he wrote. Closing parenthesis. The quiet scratching of the pen echoed softly in the vast room. Despite the luxury surrounding him, the carved furniture, the silk curtains, the priceless paintings, the space felt empty. Lonely. The golden light from the window touched his pale skin and traced the delicate sharpness of his features. His expression was calm, but his eyes, they held something heavier. Closing parenthesis. Something unspoken. He paused, reading the words he had just written. Jin thought balloon. I don't wish to blame anyone, everything happens according to fate. His fingers tightened slightly around the pen. It wasn't anger that filled his heart. It was acceptance. A quiet, painful acceptance. Outside, the world moved freely. Inside, he remained still. And in this mansion built on power and prestige, his diary was the only place where he allowed himself to feel. Flashback. The night air was cold. The road stood quiet under the dim glow of streetlights, shadows stretching across the pavement. And then, a car. Its headlights blazed violently in the darkness, far too bright, far too close. It was coming fast, too fast. The engine roared as it sped forward, the powerful beams of light swallowing everything in its path. The sound of tires screeching against the road pierced through the silence, sharp and terrifying. For a split second, time froze. The world became nothing but blinding white light rushing forward at terrifying speed. And then, impact. Everything went dark. Taehyung's room. In the room, silence felt heavier than the air itself. Taehyung lay flat on his bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. The dim light above cast faint shadows across his face, but he didn't blink. He didn't move. Tears slid quietly from the corners of his eyes, trailing down his temples and disappearing into his hair. He didn't wipe them away. He didn't have the strength to. Only one sentence kept echoing inside his mind, over and over again. Taehyung thought balloon. It happened because of me, Hung suffered because of me. The guilt wrapped around his chest like chains, tightening with every breath he took. The door opened softly. He didn't turn. Footsteps approached the bed slowly, carefully, as if afraid to disturb something fragile. The mattress dipped as someone sat beside him. Jungkook. Jungkook's warm hand gently rested on his shoulder. Jungkook. Tay-Tay, voice was low, trembling slightly. Why are you still thinking about that? None of this is your fault. Tae's finally shifted his gaze. His red, tear-filled eyes met the other man. But there was no comfort in them. No relief. Only pain. Taehyung. No, whispered hoarsely. Saying that won't change what happened, Jungkook. Jungkook's chest tightened. All he wanted, more than anything, was to see that boxy smile again. The bright, carefree grin that used to light up every room. But now, Taehyung kept blaming himself. And that hurt Jungkook more than anything else. He slid his hand down, intertwining their fingers gently, holding him as if he might break. Jungkook. You're not alone, said softly. Even though Kook knew those words weren't enough to heal the guilt consuming him. The room fell silent again. Except this time, it was filled with shared pain. Morning. Soft sunlight spilled across the vast garden of the mansion, washing everything in a gentle golden glow. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of fresh dew and blooming flowers. Near the stone pathway stood a single rose bush. Among the ordinary reds and whites, one flower stood out. A rare blue rose. Unique, untouched, almost unreal. He sat quietly in his wheelchair, gazing at it. The morning breeze brushed against his hair, but his eyes remained fixed on that one flower, as if it carried something only he could understand. And then, a memory surfaced. Two children running across a wide garden, their laughter echoing in the air. Jin, stop, little girl's voice rang out playfully. Little Jin, catch me if you can, Lily, shouted back, turning with a bright, mischievous smile. Lily, stop, Jin, laughed, chasing after him with tiny, determined steps. The sunlight back then had been warmer. His smile had been lighter. Her laughter had been louder. The memory lingered for a moment, and then it faded. The present returned like a quiet ache. Footsteps approached from behind. Maid. Mr. Kim Seokjin, called respectfully, bowing her head slightly. Madam is asking for you. He blinked slowly, the softness in his eyes disappearing behind a calm mask. Jin, all right, replied quietly. The blue rose swayed gently in the wind as he turned his wheelchair away. Some memories were beautiful, but they were never meant to stay. The realm of darkness. The palace stood beyond the mortal world, suspended in endless night. Black marble floors reflected the dim glow of floating blue flames. Shadows moved like living things along the towering pillars. The air itself felt heavy, suffocating. At the center of the vast hall sat the god of darkness. His throne was carved from obsidian, sharp edges gleaming under the cold light. He leaned back slightly, one leg crossed over the other, fingers resting lazily against the armrest, yet his eyes were anything but calm. They were restless. A guard hurried into the hall and knelt immediately. Guard number 1. My lord, spoke carefully, head lowered. Information has arrived. The Honorable Park Jimin is said to be on Earth. The temperature in the hall seemed to drop instantly. Yoongi's fingers froze. His jaw tightened almost invisibly. Yoongi, where on Earth? Voice was low. Controlled, but the darkness around him flickered violently. Guard number 1, swallowed. It has been reported that he is staying at the residence of someone named Jungkook, my god of darkness. The flames around the pillars flared. For a split second, something dangerous flashed in Yoongi's eyes. Yoongi, anything else? Asked coldly. Guard number 1, for now, that is all the information we have obtained, my respected lord of darkness. Silence filled the hall. His gaze turned distant. Closing parenthesis. Yoongi, leave. Guard number 1, as you command. The guard bowed and quickly exited. The moment he was alone, the mask on Yoongi's face slipped. His fingers curled into a fist. Yoongi think in his mind, no matter where you are mine, Park Jimin. Yoongi think in his mind and his eyes darkened. Soon, you will be Min Jimin again. The doors suddenly opened once more. The same guard rushed in, visibly nervous. Yoongi's eyes snapped toward him, irritation flashing clearly. Yoongi, what is it now? Guard number 1, forgive me for disturbing you again, my lord, but the sun god has arrived. He says he wishes to see you. Yoongi let out a slow, annoyed breath. Why is he here? I already told him that day that I have no interest in him. Guard number 1. He insists he must speak with you. A pause. Yoongi. Let him in. Moments later, warmth entered the dark hall. Unlike the suffocating aura of shadows, the sun god carried light with him. Golden energy shimmered faintly around his figure as he stepped forward. Dark god didn't stand. He didn't bow. He simply stared. Yoongi. Why are you here? Tone was sharp. I already told you I have no feelings for you, Hoseok. Hoseok's expression flickered with something painful, but he quickly masked it with a soft sigh. Hoseok. Yoongi, I didn't come to talk about that. I don't want to anger you again. Yoongi. Then why are you here, Jung Hoseok? Hoseok stepped closer, his golden aura dimming slightly in the heavy darkness. Closing parenthesis. Hoseok. Have you found Jimin yet? Yoongi. Eyes hardened instantly. And why does that concern you? Voice dropped dangerously low. Jimin left because of you. Hoseok frowned. Not because of me. He misunderstood the situation and left on his own. Yoongi. Don't pretend innocence, snapped. The shadows around his throne twisted violently. Yoongi. Don't think I have time to waste on you. If that's all you came for, you can leave. Hoseok didn't move. Instead, his expression turned serious. Hoseok. There have been reports, said firmly. You're not performing your duties properly. Humans are suffering. More of them are losing sleep, drowning in stress and darkness. Yoongi looked away. For the first time, something fragile flickered in his eyes. Yoongi. Until I find Jimin, admitted quietly. I can't do anything properly. The confession hung heavy in the air. Hoseok. Shoulders softened. Then let me help you find him. Yoongi's gaze snapped back. Hoseok. I know you don't like me, continued calmly. But the well-being of the people comes first. And I haven't given up on finding my friend either. Silence stretched between light and darkness. Yoongi leaned back slowly, eyes unreadable. Yoongi. Do whatever you want. But even as he said it, the shadows behind him whispered possessively. Because no matter what, Park Jimin belonged to him. Jin's house hall. The main hall of the mansion was vast and breathtaking. Towering ceilings stretched high above, crowned by a magnificent crystal chandelier that scattered golden light across the marble floors. Jin's photos lined the walls, their eyes seeming to watch over every movement. A grand staircase curved elegantly toward the upper floors, its polished banister gleaming under the soft glow of afternoon light pouring in through massive windows. Everything about the space spoke of wealth, power, perfection, yet at this moment, the air felt suffocating. He sat in the center of the hall, his wheelchair facing his mother. The golden light reflected against his calm but stubborn expression. Jin. No, Mom, said firmly. I'm not going anywhere. His mother stood tall, graceful as always, dressed in elegance that matched the mansion itself. But beneath her composed exterior, fear trembled in her eyes. Jin's mom. You have to go, replied, her voice sharper than usual. There is no other option. He shook his head, frustration slowly building in his chest. Jin. My friends are here. You and Dad are here. My life is here. How can you expect me to leave everything and go abroad? Jin's mom. Composure cracked. It's because of your friend that you're in this condition. She snapped, her voice shaking between anger and worry. Jin's mom. How long do you expect me to stay silent? What if something worse happens to you? What if I lose you completely? Pain flickered across his face, but he refused to let his voice break. Jin. They didn't do anything to me, said, more softly now. I've told you that so many times. Please, try to understand. But fear had already clouded her heart. The silence between them stretched painfully beneath the glittering chandelier. His jaw tightened. Without another word, he turned his wheelchair sharply and moved away, the sound of the wheels echoing loudly across the polished marble floor. She watched him go, her eyes lingering on his retreating figure. For a moment, her strong posture weakened. Then she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible in the vast hall. Jin's mom. Whether you like it or not, you are going abroad. Her fingers curled slightly. Jin's mom. I will not risk losing you again. Above them, the chandelier continued to sparkle beautifully. But beneath its glow, the distance between mother and son only grew wider. Taehyung's bedroom. The room had fallen into a heavy silence. Taehyung sat at the edge of the bed, fingers gripping the fabric of his shirt unconsciously. His thoughts were still a storm he couldn't calm. Jungkook stepped closer, his voice gentler this time. Jungkook. Taehyung, eat something first. No response. Jungkook sighed softly. Tomorrow, we'll go see Jin Hung. Taehyung froze. His head snapped up slowly, eyes widening, not with excitement, but with fear. Like, share, and subscribe. To be continued.